welcome to No Movies in Hell. I'm Chris Geiger.
I'm LaClaw Scott, and today we are reviewing Swarm, series on Amazon Prime. What were your initial thoughts on this series?
I knew that you had watched it when it first came out, and I had put it on my list of things to watch, but I just never got around to it. Because it's one of those things that I started to watch, but then I realized I would need to actually pay attention to. It wasn't something I could have on in the background and get the general gist of it. I need to look at the screen. That's why the delay. So finally, I was able to watch it this weekend. I didn't really know what it was about. I knew that there were like these, it was about this super fan mentality, but I didn't really know that it was going to go dark to that degree, right? I thought it was going to go a little bit dark, but not to the degree that it went. I was surprised by that, but also I appreciate it's 7 episodes. So it's a long series. So I'm glad that that had like sort of the intricate storyline that took it out to the commune where she was with the women. I don't know what else to call that. Like it, like the cult.
Yeah, I guess it is. It's like a commune,
Yeah.
commune of people who are going to, or they say they were going to the music festival, but really they were a commune.
Yes, yes. So I thought that was an interesting sort of side journey that she took when she becomes, so spoiler, when she becomes a stripper. That also seemed like an interesting sort of out of character, right? Her initial character is very like meek and sort of accommodating to everyone. But then when she becomes a stripper, you see this transformation sort of take place where she's manifesting all the things that she kind of did before, but kind of didn't necessarily expose to the world. So that was interesting too. And it made me think of Adzola. Some of those scenes made me think of the parallels in
Oh,
that
yes.
movie. You know, we're all going to get in this car, we're going to go to this party, and like, yeah. So I was like, oh no, what's going to happen? But yeah, I thought it was good. I liked it. And I definitely would recommend this to someone as something that's out there and entertaining and not a tremendous commitment, right? It's just 1 season so far.
Yeah.
And I like the way they had that one episode that was almost shot as a crime documentary with the
Oh, yes. Oh
police
my gosh.
officer.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Um, it does kind of blur the line because I had to look it up. I was like, oh, well, did any of these things actually happen? You know, like are these events drawn from real life in any way?
Yeah.
The answer is no, they're not, but it definitely seemed like some of them could have been.
Yes, definitely.
So that and added a realistic layer to have that crime element to it with the police.
I thought this was great. So I definitely didn't think that this series was going to turn out the way it was, it it uh it it did, or it presented itself. So I thought it was going to be more or less about the cult fandom of someone who is obsessed with like a particular artist. And it's fictionalized, but there are kids out there or people out there that like will do anything for an artist, and if somebody says something bad, then like it becomes kind of like a murderous, they go on a murderous tirade and they go down this rabbit hole. And I feel like that was the way that this series was positioned. But in reality, when you get down to it, it's a story about a woman who's trying to find family and find, belonging. And then in the background, it is about kind of this cult following of like, this is who she looks up to. This is what she considers home. And she's going to do anything in her power to get to see this Nija, or this woman who she looks up to. And in between, she has these different peaks and valleys with life, but she knows that like she can always come back to this kind of like grounding of a sense of belonging with people who are fans of like this artist. And so, going through kind of like her, the foster care system, to finding like a cult in the middle of, the woods, to finding, people who are associated with the artist. And it's just like this trail of of a person trying to belong, and then that element of, okay, this person is dangerous, and we have, we need to like find this criminal. That aspect of it in a true crime fashion is very interesting, and I thought that was a very good touch.
Yeah, and it's so relevant right now. This is the storyline in general because Taylor Swift is on tour.
Yeah.
And you see people who are, I mean, kind of doing the same things, right? Like I saw an article with interviewing this woman in Cincinnati who had a blanket over her head because she had taken off work, but like she called in sick to work, but she didn't want to be on the news at the concert, so she like put a blanket over her head so she could do the interview. So I
That's
mean,
actually really smart.
yeah, I mean, there are like super fans out there who are doing things like crazy things, paying exorbitant prices for
Oh
these
yeah.
tickets, and probably to the sacrifice of other things in their life that maybe might be a higher priority, if you were
Yeah.
looking at it rationally. But who am I to judge? Yeah, I thought it was super interesting and very timely. Let's go to the slides. So where did we differ? I gave it a little more on the acting and cinematography,
Mhm.
but you gave it more on costumes, hair, and makeup.
Yeah, I thought actually they did a very, I mean, I overall I think that, this was great. I do think they did incredible job at like designing the costumes and hair and makeup, especially when she goes through these, phases where she's trying to find herself, she's trying to find her, chosen family. All the way, to the end. I thought they did a very good job. Like in some instances, I was like, is that her? Like between like the stripper and then like like you can it's literally different personalities, and then the foundation is she is a fan and she will do whatever it takes to defend her person.
Yeah, yeah. No, I did. I agree. Like, because she's very voluptuous, but then when she's Tony, she's not, and it's so
Yeah,
I was like, how is she doing that?
very good job.
Yeah. No, that was good. Do you have any other thoughts and feelings? It's been a while since you saw this, so I just
Yeah, I think,
today.
yeah, I saw it in, I mean, I thought it was great. I'm curious to see if there will be a season 2, or if they just end it right there, or they'll keep the same concept but choose maybe a different artist. Like you mentioned, Taylor Swift, that would be interesting to see, like, different fandoms and how they deal with things.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm okay if there's not another season 2, though, because I feel like they wrapped it up pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thanks everyone for watching. We will see you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe.